Welcome, Harmony Tigers, to another great episode of your Tiger Vision News. This is John,
and Kyler,
bringing you the Tiger News updates. There are a lot of great things going around campus, and we're here to tell you all about them. So let's get this started. We start out this week with inspiration and motivation from the quote of the week given to us by Trey.
The only thing that hurts harder than failing is not trying.
Thank you, Trey, for our amazing quote of the week. I don't know about the rest of you, but I myself am feeling pretty inspired and motivated. Now, as you all know, we are in the last quarter of the school year, and things are starting to look very bright for our scholars as we head down to the final stretch of this trek. Let's rock it until we get through it. We want to give a loud tiger roar for those juniors who were able to come last Saturday to take their practice SAT exam. Great job, guys. Remember that the more you practice, the better you will perform on the actual exam. Thanks to Mr. Karaka, Mr. Aaron Cole, Mr. Kaya, Mr. Sensakaya, and Ms. Paijan for giving up their valuable time on Saturday to help these students achieve their goal.
Math SAT practice courses will be given on Tuesdays, and English practice courses will be given on Thursdays. See Mr. Kaya for math and Ms. Paijan for English. Zoom links will be available to all who join the courses.
On to some Tigerific news for this week. There is no school this Friday, April 2nd. Yay! Remember to let your parents know this as well. Use this day to relax with the family, or better yet, catch up on missing assignments. That would make all of the teachers so very happy.
Now, a friendly and kind reminder to all teachers. Please make sure you are taking attendance in a timely manner. It is very important for our school that you do this. Mr. Evans in the front office will truly appreciate this. Students, make sure you have filled out the course selection survey that was sent to you by April 2nd. Class schedules need to be made, and we need that information from you ASAP. Thanks in advance from the advisors.
In our Tiger Sports news for this week, a new ping pong tournament is underway. The gym has filled to capacity seating, and everyone has their eye on the ball. Ping pong ball, that is. As a new tournament is underway with new contestants challenging the masters. Stay tuned for the outcome. For those students who are in the gym, you must have completed your assignments and classes before you can play ping pong.
In this week's teacher feature, we are going to highlight Mr. Cepeda this week for his teacher recognition by NASA.
We are here to interview our very own Tiger Teacher of the Month, Mr. Fernando Cepeda. Mr. Cepeda is a HSA Dallas Engineering professor who has been selected as a 2021 NASA Airborne Astronomy Ambassador. This is a professional development program for science teachers designed to improve teaching and increase student learning along with STEM encouragement. Mr. Cepeda is one of 30 teachers from 10 states to be selected into this program and the only educator from Dallas-Fort Worth area. Congratulations, Mr. Cepeda, on this awesome accomplishment.
Thank you.
It is an honor to have you on our program today.
Thank you so much for inviting me and having me here today.
So, let's get started.
Yes.
Question 1, sir. Could you give our viewers a brief description of the NASA program that you have been selected for?
The program is called C9 AAA, Airborne Ambassadors, and it is one of 27 different programs developed by NASA that were approved back in 2015. And the main purpose is to encourage students in STEM and technology, and it's more of a hands-on program. It is different from staying in the classroom and just talking about theory. This particular program is more of a hands-on and having that direct contact so that we can say, you know, it's not just like theory talking about planets, but we can actually see a planet and we can say we were part of it when science was happening.
Did you have to apply for this program?
Yes, I had to apply last year towards the middle of the year.
So did that make it a long application process?
Yes, it was a long process. It was very competitive. The applications were scored, and then we had a big panel of professionals that actually selected the candidates. So I pretty much used my experience here in Harmony through our engineering pathway, the different projects that we've done, and then my professional experience academically. and actually earn my place in the program.
That's great. For the next question, as an educator and an engineer, how did the dream of working with NASA become part of your journey? Have you always wanted to work with NASA?
I have always wanted to work with NASA. I think everybody does. Ever since I was little, I mean, who doesn't dream about like becoming an astronaut or just having something to do with NASA? On my case, I was more part of, I always been oriented for like engineering or robotics, and so I actually wanted to design like, you know, the rockets that could go out to space. So for me, just to participate in this program with NASA, it's an honor and it's a dream come true.
Through this program, you will receive NASA training in astrophysics and planetary science. Can you explain what that training will be like and what you will be doing?
Yes, so we would have different professional development trainings where we're going to be exposed to the planets, the basics of what's out there in the stars. We're actually going to be exposed to the different history of the different planes that have been, or experiments that have been part of this SOFIA experience. And we're also going to be doing like the history of the different telescopes that have been involved in the process. And so we are pretty much learning, different parts of the program itself.
Now the last question. You stated that you're always in pursuit of diversity and motivation for our Harmony students to keep pushing themselves to become professionals in our society. What or who motivated you to push yourself to the highest of limits to reach NASA recognition?
I believe that my dad has always been the person that has pushed me to my limits. To him, if you work hard, you would always reach those benefits. So that inspired me ever since I arrived into this country with no English, and being able to graduate in 3 years from a high school, and then being able to transfer to university and had that experience and graduate was something big. And so my inspiration has always been my dad, because he always says, there's no limit. You can do whatever it is that you want with your life. And this is what I'm trying to also use to encourage my students, because there are no limits in education. There's no limits of things that you could do with your life, and everything is possible. And I'm the living experience of that. So I think my dad has always been my inspiration to just keep going and to show that everything can be done. Everything is possible if you're willing to put in the work and if you're willing to motivate yourself. So
it's very inspirational, sir. How would you describe yourself in high school? Like, how would you characterize yourself?
In my experience in high school, I was always pushing myself harder than anyone else. It was a really difficult experience coming into this country, starting from zero, not knowing the language. It was a big challenge, but I placed it upon myself to learn at a faster rate, to do things different than anybody else, because I already knew that I was in disadvantage. So I began to surround myself with the language. I actually went to a school that was limited in Hispanic, so that my Spanish language was rare to use in the school. So that helped me out a lot. Growing up and going through that experience helped me as a student. So I would always place it upon myself to just do my best and to think that there are no limitations. So thanks to that, I was able to graduate in the top 5% in my generation, and then I was able to still make that impact with my students. Even though I graduated as an engineer and I can work as an engineer and maybe have perhaps a better salary than a teacher, I saw that opportunity to share my experience with students and tell them that sky's the limit.
So now that you've reached this kind of level where you're at, do you feel like you've made a change just around you or with students?
I definitely have. I mean, I always share my students with like all of them. Everybody that comes into my class has that same experience. Some of the students get it, some of them don't, but that just keeps motivating me to keep looking for diversity and try to encourage more students at a time. And I believe that I have created impact because the students that actually stick with the program, I'm honored to see them graduate. And even now that they are alumni, they still reach out to me, and now that they went through the whole experience of college, it made me happy, and it made me realize that they were actually paying attention in that class when I was talking about the whole experience of going to college. And they reach out still, and then they're like, Mr. Cepeda, thank you so much. I graduated, now I'm an engineer, now I'm an aerospace engineer, and I'm like, whoa, it just blows up my mind that students still, after they graduated and left Harmony, they still refer to their whole experience in Harmony and use it for them to actually graduate with a degree in life, like engineering or any other, and become professionals. So I do believe that we are impacting our society and our students, and that they're actually going out there and reaching out, to do their best. So.
Well, you have certainly inspired all of us here, and I'm sure all of your students because of all of your accomplishments. Thank you, Mr. Cepeda, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. And keep reaching for the stars. Back to you, John.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wow, what an incredible accomplishment. Great job to Mr. Cepeda. Thank you so much for teaching us to strive for the best. That is all the time we have for today, Tigers. Have a terrific day and keep reaching for the stars.